Tonight, new developments in a COVID-19 outbreak at a Salt Lake nursing home. Hear from one family after their loved one who lives there contracted the virus.
A historic General Conference weekend, from the messages to the announcements. I'm Aaron Cox, and I'll show you what happened.
And parents of premature twins, the powerful plea they have for you to simply stay home to save their babies' lives.
You know the song Rainy Days and Mondays. Do we see both tomorrow? I'll let you know in the forecast.
Live from Fox 13 Studios, this is Fox 13 News at 9.
First on Fox 13, let's get you up to speed on where we stand with COVID-19 in the state of Utah by the numbers. Utah Department of Health says there are now 1,605 positive cases in our state. 124 people have been hospitalized. The death toll remains unchanged from yesterday at 8 people.
And this weekend, we are learning more about a COVID-19 outbreak at a Salt Lake County nursing home.
We know one resident there has died. Several more are infected. But one family is claiming the center never let them know that their loved one tested positive for the virus.
Tonight, Fox 13's Lauren Steinbrecher spoke to the patient's sister in an interview that you'll only see here.
Farida Fox says it wasn't until she saw it on the news Tuesday that she realized her sister may be in danger after finding out about cases of COVID-19 at Pine Creek Rehab and Nursing. She called and says a nurse told her they were on high alert.
And she said, well, the person that went to the hospital, one of the patients, contracted the virus at the hospital.
Farida says she FaceTimed with her sister on Wednesday and everything seemed okay. She says her 64-year-old sister has dementia and has lived at Pine Creek for more than a decade. Well, fast forward to Saturday when Farida says she again saw Pine Creek on the news, this time to learn COVID-19 spread through the facility, sickening 6 patients and killing 1. 2 staff members also tested positive. Again, she called.
I said, the 6th patient that was on the news, is that one of them my sister? Then she confirmed it was my sister.
So they didn't call you, they
did not call.
Farida says her brother is the main point of contact, and she says he never got a call after that positive COVID-19 test came back, which concerned Farida. She says her sister doesn't speak English.
If she's hurting or anything, she would not know how to communicate that to them.
On Sunday, just before we FaceTimed, Farida says she got to FaceTime her sister through a Pine Creek nurse.
I asked her if she had aches and pains, and she was in good spirits and was very happy to see my face.
She's feeling better about her sister now, but Farida says she still has questions about how Pine Creek handled the outbreak and how her sister contracted COVID-19.
I just worry about the other people that are there as well, the safety of the staff and the residents. And I hope this all comes out where we don't lose any casualties from this. I just want clear communication from now moving forward.
We reached out to Pine Creek through phone and email, but haven't heard back. Lauren Steinbrecher, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Today, we're pleased to announce plans to construct 8 new temples.
And among those new temples are ones in Syracuse, Utah, and the first temples in mainland China and the Middle East. Now, these new temples announced by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints add to the many historic moments during this weekend's General Conference. Fox 13's Aaron Cox shows us the highlights from Temple Square.
The conference center was empty for General Conference for the first time since it was dedicated in 2000.
We are waging an all-hands-on-deck war with COVID-19, a solemn reminder that a virus 1,000 times smaller than a grain of sand can bring entire populations and global economies to their knees. We pray for those who have lost loved ones in this modern plague, as well as for those who are currently infected or at risk. We certainly pray for those who are giving such magnificent health care.
But church members still came together. Only those who were speaking and praying were allowed into the church administration building, all sitting 6 feet apart. The conference included youth speakers from church membership about priesthood. On Saturday, President Russell M. Nelson announced a new symbol to be used in all church publications, changing the old symbol of the angel Moroni on the Salt Lake Temple to Jesus Christ with his arms stretched out. Most speakers spoke about Joseph Smith as church members are celebrating the bicentennial anniversary of his first vision. Because of this, President Nelson announced a new proclamation.
We declare that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, organized on April 6, 1830, is Christ's New Testament church restored. This church is anchored in the perfect life of its chief cornerstone, Jesus Christ, and in his infinite atonement and literal resurrection.
There have been 5 proclamations made in church history. The last one was the Family Proclamation to the World in 1995. Church members joined President Nelson in shouting Hosanna after the proclamation.
Dear brothers and sisters, I express my deep love for you.
President Nelson also announced another worldwide fast for those suffering and impacted by COVID-19. This is for anyone who would like to join on Good Friday, April 10th. From the conference center, Aaron Cox, Fox 13 News, Utah.
In other news tonight, 2 people are in critical condition after an SUV crashed into an Ogden restaurant and sent them to the hospital. Police say it happened at Patricia's restaurant on the 3300 block of Washington Boulevard just before noon. Investigators say the SUV was headed northbound when it cut across traffic, jumped a curb, and plowed into the building. 3 employees were inside of the restaurant at the time. None were hurt.
And new at 9, a man is facing threats of terrorism charges after allegedly coughing on a police officer. So court documents show a West Jordan officer stopped this man, Bill Anderson, after he almost hit Anderson with his patrol car while Anderson was jaywalking at 78 South. Well, police claim Anderson then pulled down the bandana covering his mouth and said, quote, "I might have the coronavirus," before coughing in the officer's face.
In our job, when we're taking somebody into custody, we don't have that luxury of staying 6 feet away. This is one of those tragic incidents where somebody appears to have taken advantage of an officer when they were vulnerable.
Police say Anderson was drunk at the time of his arrest. As for that officer, they are showing no symptoms of COVID-19 at this moment.
A company in North Ogden shutting down manufacturing to convert their warehouse into a place that people in need can go. Fox 13 Spencer Joseph shares how this business received help from all around the state to make this possible.
There are many in need of groceries, whether it's eggs, cereal, milk, or that ever-elusive toilet paper.
Our body armor 3A.
And a company that manufactures body armor would probably be the last place you would look for some of those goods.
It is literally the most flexible body armor out there.
Mike Larson is a co-owner of Advanced Armor Technology. They make all kinds of different body armors for police to teachers. Now he's embarking on what he is calling his toughest endeavor yet.
We decided to open this. We are lucky enough to have the 5 acres and the 7,000-foot building and the means to put this together.
Called the Tri-City Exchange, he converted his manufacturing warehouse in North Ogden to a storage facility for people to come and get some groceries when they're in need.
We've not had one greedy person that says, I need 20 of this. They take what they can have or what they need, and that's it.
But he didn't do it alone, starting with the mayors of the Tri-City area.
The 3 mayors looked at it and said, our city needs it. Associated Foods. Nicholas brought us a reefer fridge truck. Lee's Marketplace. We had Butters Construction, CE Butters, come in and put in a parking lot in a day. Walmart. I mean, that was a huge one. They stepped up and said, let's make this happen.
Those groups pitching in have made this possible, but more is needed.
If you've got 1 can of something, a pack of ramen noodles that you're not eating, drop it off.
To keep this exchange going, they need to figure out some things, like a permanent refrigerator truck to store perishable items. But regardless, with people in need every day coming through and getting a good meal, Larson says this has all been worth it.
It's worth my whole business. You know, I would shut it down again. We've committed to be here until this is over, and you know they've got to put clothes on their kids and feed them at the same time. So if we can build this to feed them while they can handle their life, then that's what we're here for.
Spencer Joseph, Fox 13 News, Utah.
A lot of changes, people being forced to be creative, including us here at Fox 13. We have Breck Bolton in his basement tonight. And Breck, with all this craziness, is Mother Nature going to give us any consistency this week?
Well, the only area that we could see some consistency will be temperatures, especially across northern Utah, where today we kept temperatures and highs in the 60s, but wasn't quite as nice. We had a lot more winds, clouds, even some scattered light rain showers across northern Utah. Want to share a photo coming from a viewer. This is Karen Newman, who was hiking near Stansbury Island over towards Tooele County. As you can see, some clouds, a little break in the clouds with some sunshine. A little harder to find today, but boy, it was windy out towards the western desert, where we found wind gusts in excess of 45 miles per hour. But take a look at the official highs today, getting up into the upper 60s in Salt Lake City, close to 70 degrees in Provo, many spots in the 60s. We did make up in the low 70s in St. George. Currently, we're in the 50s to low 60s across most of northern western Utah as well. And wind still howling, not as strong. We're finding sustained winds between 15 to 25 miles per hour. They'll die off just a little bit, but returning come tomorrow. We're still seeing a push of moisture, mainly clouds through western into northern Utah, even seeing some scattered showers, not so much across the south, but across northern Utah. We can still see a sprinkle here in the overnight hours, so we're not letting go of the chance of rain. Actually, a bigger storm on the way. Who gets impacted? And I mentioned those stable temperatures. We'll show you all the details coming up in the 7-day forecast.
Thank you, Breck. See you in a bit. Still to come, twins born prematurely and still battling health issues. How their parents are hoping to stay clear of COVID-19.
And a few close calls and snarling traffic. How these troopers save these dogs on a busy Utah highway.
The American Red Cross urgently needs blood and platelet donations and asks all healthy donors to schedule an appointment to give now. With the coronavirus outbreak, it is important to maintain a sufficient blood supply. Your blood donation is critical and can help save lives. Please, schedule an appointment today. Download the Blood Donor app, visit redcrossblood.org, or call 1-800-RED-CROSS today. You can make a difference.
And done.
It's gonna be okay.
Victory is greatest when you've met defeat. Let's conquer.
Why, you've certainly done it now, Artu.
This is Lego Masters, a new build.
Star Wars!
I knew you'd like that one.
Grab your Lego Saber as the semifinals blast into Lightspeed.
You're building droids.
Be there for the ultimate battle.
It has to be epic.
Oh my goodness. I feel like you've already given up.
Who will go home so close to the end?
This is for the finale!
Lego Masters.
Wednesday at 8 on Fox 13.
Together, we must help our community stop the spread of COVID-19, also known as coronavirus. The best way we can do this is to follow social distancing guidelines by staying home whenever possible and staying at least 6 feet away from other people.
Fox 13's The Place, followed by the Dr. Oz Show.
It's a 1-2 punch.
Weekdays starting at 1, right here on Fox 13. You're watching Fox 13 News. Let's connect.
A mother and father in Tooele are hoping everyone takes the coronavirus seriously to help stop the spread.
Now this because their twins were born prematurely and are still battling health issues. Fox 13's John Franke shows us why this virus could be deadly for the babies.
Those twin boys, Isaac and Lucas, were born here at IMC 5 months ago. They are defying the odds.
They were born at 1 pound 12 and 1 pound 11.
Lucas and Isaac were that tiny when they were born. Their mom Brecklin's pregnancy is one doctors say is extremely rare. The boys are mono twins, meaning they share the same placenta and amniotic sac. Doctors worried the pregnancy could be dangerous.
The 18 weeks, they also decided that they were questioning whether or not to have the pregnancy ended fully or to do a cord occlusion, so to keep only one baby.
But the parents made the decision to keep going.
I couldn't let one go. I really wanted to let them be together.
In November, the boys were born, but 3 months early.
We're just lucky that they were strong enough to get through that and be the strong little babies that they are today.
After 3 months in the hospital, the boys were allowed to go home.
They're miracle babies.
They really are.
Little Isaac and Lucas have come a long way.
They're growing so well. They're almost 8 pounds now, going on 9 pounds, and they're doing great.
The premature birth is one hurdle this family has cleared. Now they have to protect these boys from coronavirus.
If they got the virus, they probably wouldn't survive it, honestly, just because they're so small and their lungs aren't the greatest right now.
Mom and Dad are taking every precaution.
Come home, wash up, change your clothes, wash up again, and then you go hold the baby.
They hope everyone in the community does their part to stay safe.
It could be you and it could be your family, and then you didn't take those precautions and you just lost somebody you really cared about, and that's anybody, that's everyone.
What we all do can have a ripple effect.
It affects not just one person's lives, but a lot of people's lives. So.
And nobody wants these precious children to endure another fight.
It's amazing. It's just, and when they laugh and you make them laugh, it's all worth it. I mean, the whole experience is worth it.
Are you happy?
Because of their lung issues, both Isaac and Lucas are on oxygen. Their parents are keeping them home, except to go to the doctor's office 1 time per month. In Murray, John Franke, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Really puts things into perspective there. UTA is reducing its services because not as many people are using public transit during this pandemic. Pickup frequency will be adjusted on most 15 and 30-minute bus routes. Meanwhile, Trax frequency will go from 15 to 30 minutes and FrontRunner frequency will go from 30 to 60 minutes. UTA says with riders, they should practice social distancing because they have that extra space on its buses and trains.
A busy Utah roadway shut down today with Utah Highway Patrol troopers having to stop traffic. And you probably wouldn't consider this your average police chase. UHP tweeting out this picture of the dogs that got loose on SR 201 near 3200 West. They were able to wrangle the trio after some close calls and a bit of a traffic jam.
They live off Mountain View Corridor. So the dogs actually traveled quite a bit to get to 3200 West and 201. The dogs were jumping up for joy and so happy and rolling over to have their bellies petted.
All 3 are now back at home, safe with their owners. Well, safe to say they were all thinking what we were thinking. Let's get outside and just run around because it feels so strange just to be kind of confined in the box like we are, Breck.
Yeah, we don't want to be cooped up for too long, so we have opportunities to go outdoors, of course, as we keep our safe distances, but maybe going out in the backyard or for a walk around the neighborhood. Today, not as great as yesterday in that we had to contend with the winds, a few spotty showers. Temperatures, though, it was warmer today. Maybe it didn't feel that way with the official high in Salt Lake City. We got up to 68 degrees. As you can see, on average, we should be in the upper 50s. Well off the record, though, set back in 1959. Okay, that was the record for today. Currently, we're at 59 degrees. So as I showed you, our average high temperatures, that's what we're experiencing right now at this hour. Notice the winds. Not as strong, still coming in out of the southwest. It's that southwest flow, which is allowing for warmer air to track through and actually keeping the clouds with some upper level moisture in place. Now, as we look moving forward, we are going to see a chance of some rain, and it will increase come tomorrow. But as we focus Tuesday into Wednesday, as we've been seeing most of the activity across northern Utah, it begins to shift southward. Mild temperatures, though, expected to cross the state, I should say, but bigger storm on the way, which will have most of its impact across the south. Now, take a look at our current watches and warnings. Nothing in place, no wind advisories as well. It'll be interesting as we look towards the middle of the week as the storm moves through southern Utah, where we are expecting to see maybe potentially moderate to heavy rainfall. If we might have some flash flood warnings or watches in place, we'll kind of keep you posted there. But let's take a look across the state. State. Not much activity, just a few light rain showers across northern Utah. But we look upstream where we're again under the southerly flow, all due to the storm system that's tracking southward across California. Now it's in central towards southern California, bringing some big concerns. As you can see, all that yellow and dark green, that's heavy to moderate rainfall pushing through those areas, of course, where we had a lot of wildfires over the past couple of years. So those burn scar areas could see some flooding there in California. That's what's moving towards southern Utah into northern Arizona. And it looks like it'll get here about Tuesday into Wednesday. Let's take a look at our computer models where for northern Utah, we're not quite out of the woods yet. As we move forward, we're going to hold on to some clouds, potentially overnight, maybe some brief showers, particularly across extreme northern Utah. We'll keep the chance of some afternoon showers going for northern Utah. Very scattered, very light, very similar to what we found today. Clouds increase across southern Utah, but you see we're keeping the showers at bay and holding them off just for a bit until we get to Tuesday, where it's just starting to line up. And then it begins to slowly move through and bring in a possibility of showers across southern into southwestern Utah, then moving slowly as it tracks towards southeastern Utah, especially as we go from Wednesday into Thursday. So this is a slow-moving storm. It kind of digs and then kind of stalls, and then it will finally eject. And for northern Utah, we'll start to see some improvements once we get past tomorrow with a little bit more sunshine. But for tonight, just a slight chance of a shower across northern Utah. Overnight lows dipping down into the 40s and 50s. Tomorrow it's 60s, and the possibility of maybe seeing some brief rain will be across southwestern Utah and the Wasatch Front. Here's your 7-day forecast for the Dixie area, where temperatures will be cooling off. Chances of showers Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, clearing out quite nicely for the weekend. And then for northern Utah, we're going to be looking at some brief showers come tomorrow. Then it looks like partly cloudy skies. We keep it in the 60s all throughout the week and looking into the weekend as well. So just some brief showers. So plenty of opportunities to get outdoors as you look for the upcoming week.
Well, and Breck, it seems like it's been a while since we've seen 60s all across the board like that.
A long time, and it couldn't come at a better time.
Absolutely. Thanks, Breck.
Still ahead on Fox 13 News at 9. Do you need more information about COVID-19 testing? Some common questions answered next.
At Speedway, we're always looking out for you. That's why we invest in industry-leading technology, like our fast and secure pumps. Equipped with state-of-the-art card readers with the latest advances in credit card security to keep your information safe at thousands of Speedway locations. Which means when you fill up here, you know Speedway's got your back. So you can get what you need and get on your way. Official fuel of IndyCar.
News breaks when it wants. It doesn't have a script or a schedule, so we don't cut things short just to hand it over to network news. When the other guys go to New York, we stay local. Fox 13's Good Day Utah. Let's connect.
The SmackDown is back!
Will astronauts soar past turtle?
This is the Heartthrob versus Heartthrob.
Can kangaroo hop over night angel?
So hard!
The Masked Singer.
Wednesday at 7 on Fox 13.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
I found a way.
I found a way.
I found a way.
I found a way.
IFAW.
The International Fund for Animal Welfare.
Protecting animals everywhere.
Find us at ifaw.org.
Protect whales.
Polar bears, tigers,
elephants.
Companion animals.
And the environment we all share.
I found a way.
I found a way.
I found a way.
I found a way. Find us at ifaw.org.
You said we were going someplace fun.
The Simpsonian, where memorable Simpsons moments come to life.
Homo erectus. Where has that word been all my life? Dad, no!
Why would a Homer humiliator do this to me? A true national treasure.
What's going on? This is too weird, man.
The Simpsons.
Weeknights on Fox 13.
Right now, there are a lot of questions about COVID-19 testing. So tonight, Fox 13's Kelly Chapman tackles some of the most common concerns.
Widespread testing is important because for a number of reasons. It helps patients understand when they need to take extra precautions to self-isolate. It also provides good data for our epidemiologists to use.
With more testing becoming available, some of our viewers had some important questions. One of the biggest is how much does the testing cost?
And we want to make sure everyone knows that with the passing of the Families First Coronavirus Response Act, everyone is covered for COVID-19 testing and the related exam costs.
According to the Act, all individuals, regardless of what type of health insurance they have, or even if they don't have any at all, will have their cost-sharing liability waived for both the cost of the test as well as the visit during which the test was received. The legislation includes $1 billion to cover these costs.
I think you're seeing right now a recognition in the community that there is just a need to come together for the greater good.
Another big question is, what does the test involve?
When you arrive at a testing site, usually you will be evaluated in your car, be asked some questions, and then some vital information will be taken, and then a nurse or medical assistant will see you and obtain a swab. This is not a comfortable experience, but it's necessary to get the right sample.
The test can take anywhere from 15 minutes up to a couple of days to get complete results. People also want to know if they are in good health and just feeling light symptoms, should they get tested or just ride out the sickness?
It provides good data for our epidemiologists to use in terms of tracking the spread of the disease.
In addition to keeping you healthy, knowing who is infected helps the state identify hot spots and allows them to prepare for what's to come. Some viewers asked if you need a doctor's note to get a test.
We do have testing options for people with physician's orders, and we also have testing available for people who don't have a doctor's order.
No note is needed, but there are separate options depending on your doctor's suggestions. And finally, a lot of people wanted to know, where do they go to get tested?
We have curbside and drive-through testing at 20 different locations across the state, and we've partnered with the governor's office through the Utah Coronavirus Task Force to make sure that we can provide testing sites that are close and convenient to people's homes.
Multiple health centers all across the state have opened curbside locations for testing, and you can find a location by calling the COVID-19 hotline. That toll-free number is 844-442-5224 or 801-587-0712. We also have a link to a symptom checker on our website. Kelly Chapman, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Still to come, local reserve medics going into the trenches as they deploy to the epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak here in the U.S. And bracing for what the president warns will be one of the toughest weeks. A glance into the grim COVID-19 outlook.